Happy birthday indeed. Maybe you are celebrating this day by going back to school, because yes, it is back to school for all the grade R, all the way up to grade 11. And they'll be joining the matrics and grade 7s who returned earlier this month, which means more learners for educators to handle and keep safe during these unprecedented times. But how can parents help keep their children safe and reduce anxiety for those children adapting to the new routine, maybe the new normal, as we always speak about? Our trusted registered counsellor, Shinaz Moos, joins us this morning to give some pearls of wisdom. Shinaz Moos, always so good to have you with us on your Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Hi guys, good morning. It's so good to be back and to see Graham in the studio. Hi Graham.
I know, I was literally just thinking that my parenting skills have suffered because I haven't been able to lean on you as a resource, but we've been Insta friends, so that's helped keep the connection alive. Shinaz, I'm going to call it a special time. As much as there is a lot of anxiety around this, being a social creature myself, I loved being able to connect with my friends again. So there is that element which I think kids are going to love, but there is obviously going to be anxiety for parents, anxiety for learners, anxiety for teachers. My most important thought at the moment is probably for our learners themselves. What do we as parents say to our children now? How do we get them feeling inspired and less anxious to go back to school? How do we approach that?
Yeah, you know, I think the main thing is that the virus actually hasn't left us. We've just had to adapt to live alongside it. So the first instruction or the first conversation with your child should be, you know what, we have to be extra cautious. The things that we were doing, we have to carry on doing, the mask wearing, sanitizing, social distancing, and it seems very hard to put it all together in like a package, but this is the reality. And some kids have actually gone back already. My son's in grade 7, so he's been back at school. So I'm always conversing with him about the physical environment of school and what's different. And I think that's an important thing to actually do. Talk to your kids about how school, the physical environment is a little bit different to what they were used to.
Shinaz, sorry to interject there. Did he find it difficult going back to school? What was his experience going back into that environment?
So the first thing was that in break time, they couldn't play like they used to. The chairs were put outside, you know, apart from each other, and they had to like sit and eat their lunches, where they normally used to, even at that age, running around and climbing and, you know, free play, which is necessary for children's well-being, just the ability to move as they want. And that ability has been taken away for safety reasons. So kids have to sit quietly or sit apart. So it does have an impact, quite an enormous one. And I don't know if everyone's factored in the emotional well-being long-term of children being in an environment where movement and social interaction is restricted.
It is difficult. It's difficult for us as the parents, but also difficult for the kids. And I want to speak about those kids that, you know, are facing anxiety during this time, going back to school. How can we as parents
might
then
be hyper anxious already,
help them with their worries?
You know, so I think I said, I think last week or the week before on the show, that even children who don't have anxiety will be anxious because they've been told to stay indoors and not have contact with other people. Now, for some, this may be the first time that they are coming out into the world in contact with people. So for some children, you know, discussing or even more importantly, showing pictures. If the school can provide photos of how the new environment looked. A lot of kids have to be in a different classroom to what they were used to. A lot of them are going to school on different days in different batches. So the whole routine of how they know school is completely changed. So for the very anxious child, they need a lot of conversation and information about what it will look like. Will it change? Can they, you know, get their input on how they feel about how everything will look, and always engage at the end of each day with how the day was, what they enjoyed, you know, who did they play with, or who did they talk to, so that you keep them motivated. There are still fun aspects of going back to school.
And of course, they're going to be able to learn again and enjoy that process of being able to not be taught by their parents, which I'm sure is going to be quite refreshing for a lot of kids. What about the child who just flat out doesn't want to go back? And that is understandable. I felt it obviously to a lesser degree with my little one. Just didn't want to go back to school because he had been only in our company, only with his parents for quite a long time. How do we broach that as a parent? What do you recommend parents do when a child is just really digging their heels in and does not want to go back to school?
So obviously you're going to get resistance because if they've been in their pajamas whole day, relaxed mode, eating snacks when they want, doing work when they feel like working or not working at all, depending on what's set out for the day. So there will be quite a huge resistance from kids who didn't enjoy school in the first place. So I've got a daughter in matric who actually opted not to go back. So you as a parent have to decide, can the situation work? Can she continue to learn while at home? Because I'm not a teacher. I already established that. I can't do grade 12 content. And a lot of that lies with the child's ability to be independent and motivated to learn. So they're in charge of their own learning. But I know this isn't possible for all grades. So it's a hard conversation when the child doesn't actually want to go. For younger kids, I don't think you're going to have a lot of leeway or play because they need to go. So it's building a fun element into going back to school, and that will be different for each child depending on what they enjoy.
Shanaz, Mo, so good for you to unpack this conversation that we need to have with our kids before introducing them back to the new world, again, back to the new normal of sending them back to school. But of course, stay with us, you at home as well, as we'll be talking about creating a new routine with your children going back to school and maybe creating a fun element as we send them back to school.
Man.
Yeah.
You're going to see your friends.
Yeah.
You don't have to listen to mom and dad teaching you all day. It's going to be amazing. But we'll continue that conversation in just a moment.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back, you're live with Expresso as we continue a conversation, an important one today, as kids go back to school. Registered counsellor Shanaz Moos now joins us again. And earlier she shared some advice on how parents can help their children who may be experiencing anxiety going back to school, which is completely natural and expected. Shanaz, welcome back. Let's do a quick recap. Why is it so important that we as parents have an open discussion with our children about what to know, what they can expect, and prepare them a little bit for the new school environment that they're going to be going into, because it is going to be different?
Yeah, the discussion about going back to school should actually have happened like a while ago, so that you gradually build up to answer each question or thought or panic that the child may have, and preparing for school, like, changing the sleep patterns. We were now sleeping later, waking later as well. And so all of that's got to change to getting back to what used to be getting up early, getting done early, but also with a gentle approach, because it's a different time completely for kids to go back to school. So, also getting them used to the idea that they may only be back for 2 days, and some of their friends may not be there, and the day may be shorter. It's all these changes all at once, and for some kids it's a lot to take in. So you have to sort of talk about it as much as you can, and the schools tend to communicate quite regularly about what they plan to do and how things will look. And from this, your children aren't reading the emails. It's your job to convey the information to them, have this dialogue about how different, and then get how they would feel about everything in that conversation. And just through releasing the emotion, they'll be more calm. I'm not saying completely calm, in the very changed physical environment and emotional environment that they will probably be in when they go back.
Yeah, and I think trust our schools, trust our teachers. They're going to be in great hands once they do get there. We know how important routine is, especially for a younger child. How important is it then for parents to help establish a new sense of kind of normalcy and routine for their children? And how do we go about that with things being so different and kind of a lot of question marks now?
Yeah, so obviously, if you've got more than one child, they may have different school routines that get set out for them. That is going to school on different days, and there may be days where they're at home. So it would be maybe printing up like a schedule, a planner, somewhere for the child to be able to see which days they go to school and what activities they'll actually be doing, so that they feel more prepared when they actually have to do it. And definitely, you know, you have to shift out of the pajama mode and back into the wearing clothes or uniform. I know most of the schools are still doing clothing because it's just easier than uniforms in terms of wearing something fresh, new, that hasn't been worn the day before. So that is one of the things. And the masks, you know, having tons of masks. What I did before my son went back to school was actually let him practice wearing a mask for portions of his day at home, you know, talking through the mask, just sitting with it on, trying to do work with it on, so that he gained sort of a sense of familiarity with it. So that would be something that, you know, get the child to practice wearing a mask often.
Shanaz, I'm picking up, and I think we can give our kids a lot more credit often than we do give them. They're going to be strong, they're going to do it, and they can adapt. Children are adaptable. I'm getting a sense that you're quite anxious through this process, and I think for many of us parents, it is quite a scary thing I certainly went through it, sending my little one back to school. What final tips of advice do you have for parents so that they can be okay through this process?
Yes, definitely. It was a huge anxiety too. And a lot of people they couldn't believe that you chose to send the child back. But at some point, there has to be re-entry back into the world as it is. And the choice is that the more comfortable and confident you are exiting into the world as a parent, you mirror this for the child. That I do go back, I go out to work, I go out and do my shopping, but I always have my mask. I've got like 3 sanitizers in my bag, different kinds. So I think that this me doing it before he had to do it, showed him that, you know, and coming home and then, you know, doing everything that was asked to stay safe. And that's the huge thing, that it isn't about fear, it's about safety. Having this mindset of being safe isn't the same as I'm afraid of the virus out there. So it's more, let's be safe around the virus and not be fearful, because it is there. But that anxiety heightens when it's coming from that fearful place.
And we can control so many of these elements of play. Shanaz, I feel calmer and better having spoken to you. So thank you so much. Really wonderful to see your face again. Thank you so much for some really wonderful insights as well. And good luck with your own journey in this regard.
Thanks, Graham.
I think a key take-home here from this conversation is parents, children, we need to focus on what we can actually control, and that is our level of hygiene and, of course, adhering to social distancing, wearing our masks. These are things that are within our control. Don't be fearful, just be safe.